welcome to our Networking Now India video series. We are launching a new concept where we interview a lot of our members, different people in different fields, and we'd love to even reach out to you guys if you have any suggestions of anyone that we can interview or talk about. We talk about brand building, social media, and the different things that you can do to make an impact. Today my conversation is with Afsheen Dattoobhai, the founder of WhistleWhileYouWork. She runs branding workshops all over Bombay, India for different companies, entrepreneurs, individuals. Hi guys, so I'm finally here with Afsheen Dattoobhai, who's the founder of WhistleWhileYouWork. We met through Networking Now India and ever since have worked together on so many different projects. It's so great to have you here, Afsheen. So Afsheen, tell us a little bit about how you work with different individuals and brands and how people from our community can connect with you.
Absolutely. So Whistle runs workshops for businesses in the form of trainings or brainstorms. And we help you problem solve, and problems can be anything, creating a brand name, a brand identity, team training, just general team building, leadership training, or even coming up with new ideas. The way we do it is we use the creative arts. So we use drama, we use art, we use something called human-centered design thinking, where you basically put the people in the center. So people can be your clients, people can be your team. You put them as the center and you come up with solutions to or ideas on the way forward. So it's lots of gameplay, lots of storytelling, and we help you find a way forward using the creative arts.
Okay, that's good to hear, and that's good to know, because I feel a lot of companies, when they even talk to us, and I see during the networking events, is they're like, we want to do something fun, but which can probably bring us together closer. So I think, like you said, brand building and activities makes a difference. So who do you recommend use your services? So what kind of a brand could you work with? Would it be anyone and everyone? How do they,
Absolutely. We've helped one-man shows come up with an entire brand concept. We have helped established businesses, whether it's pharmaceutical companies, fitness companies, restaurants, run trainings, figure out what the way forward is for them. So irrespective of how big or small your business is, irrespective of what stage you are at, we will customize a completely unique program for you.
Okay, that's great. So just to ask you how you began, how did you even think of this? What were you doing before? What have you studied? Tell us a bit about yourself.
So studied consumer psychology in the UK. It was economic and consumer psychology. Then went on to be a wedding planner.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did destination weddings. This started because I teach children speech and drama. I'm associated with the Jungir School of Speech and Drama, and we train students to give a London-based exam, where the examiner comes in from the Trinity College of London twice a year. And I was doing this as a hobby and sitting with a bunch of entrepreneurs who were ready to start up their little restaurant, and they didn't have a brand name. And I'd watch them every day thinking, what should we call ourselves? What should we call ourselves? And I said, you know what? Let's play a few games. Let me bring my drama techniques into this and let me run a really fun brainstorm for you. And then we came up with a brand name, a brand identity. We put processes into place, what would happen when customers came in. We did what would happen at the back end when an order was received, all through playing Whose Line Is It Anyway, and Taboo and all these other games. And then when it came to training the staff, we did something called role reversal. So we would give we'd play Whose Line Is It Anyway, but we would make you enact out the role of the person you would be interacting with. So a manager would act out the role of his team members or of a client. And so we really rejigged it, and we started, and we did team trainings. And that's when I saw there was actually a business in this.
That's amazing.
So I went on to London. I worked with a company called Cream and Salt, and they do exactly this, except they use art as their means of delivery. So I went in as a participant for a few of their workshops, And then I worked with them, and I came back and I trained as a design thinking facilitator. So I went to Hong Kong, trained with an institute that's based out of the States, the Luma Institute in Pittsburgh. And now I'm trained as a facilitator for all these workshops.
That's amazing. That's great. So you have the experience and you finally come back to start your own.
Yeah.
So tell me, Afsheen, do you find that when you started, do you find it difficult to start off on your own? Do you find it difficult to grow your own brand? You know, you do this for others, but how do a lot of people tell me that it's how do we start out? We have the idea, what next? So what is your take on it? And do you find it being difficult to be a woman entrepreneur today? Are there opportunities? How do you?
So I think my biggest challenge was how do I actually start every day? How would I do things that would bring my business to a point where I didn't have to think of work? So I started off by doing Wednesday morning mentor meetings, and I would meet with a very experienced entrepreneur. Luckily for me, it was my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I would meet him every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. and we'd kind of go over the week that was and what my what the week ahead was. And we came up with all these goals and timelines and milestones. And that was a great starting point for me. I've thankfully reached a stage where now I can meet with my mentor as and when I think necessary.
It's really important to have a mentor. I feel like at any stage, it's somebody to bounce your ideas off. I feel like I see myself going through this a lot where I'm doubting myself. So it's always nice to get an opinion from someone else. And that kind of is like your market opinion, like your market research.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you kind of just need someone to tell you, hey, you're on the right track. Or, hey, did you think of this? So it's always good to have that sounding board. And then the second thing, which has really helped me right now, is that I've started working out of a co-working space. So there are lots of other entrepreneurs at either the same stage where I am, or they've already been through what I've been through. And it's great because I can be working on something and say, hey, can you help me? I'm going in for a pitch tomorrow. This is my client. This is what they want. This is how I'm thinking of positioning it, and they'll always come in with their experience.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you think about the entrepreneurship take in India, and any advice that you could give any entrepreneurs watching this?
I think
something that's worked for you, maybe something that's a negative also. Like, I feel like we always, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like we always share the positives, we don't share the negatives.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And we've all had bad experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Great ones, but bad ones too.
I think a couple of things. One is, I think, find your tribe, your work tribe. People who will root for you no matter what. People who have hard love where they will say, hey, rethink this. So definitely find your tribe. The second thing is protect your product and, be shameless about it. Just protect your product. Do whatever you're doing with a lot of believe in what you're selling and do it with your whole heart.
How do people reach out to you? Do you do specific workshops? How does WhistleWhileYouWork work?
So usually we customize a workshop for a particular business. This is the first month that we've actually run a bunch of open events. But you can find us on Instagram, WhistleWhileYouWork.in, or you can send me an email at Afsheen@WhistleWhileYouWork.in.
Great. So, guys, you know where to reach Afsheen. This is a quick insight into Afsheen's life and into WhistleWhileYouWork. So the main thing is, if you want to rebrand or you want to start something new within your office, even just to get teammates together, you know where to reach out to her. So definitely see you next time. Join our membership platform. Follow us on Instagram. We're Networking Now India. And join our Facebook groups. We also have a very active WhatsApp group. So if you want to be part of that, you know where to reach us. See you.